Hello guys, welcome back to Coding Cafe. My name is Muhammad Ali and in this video we will work on our settings activity. But before we do that, let me tell you some important things. We will do it just like WhatsApp, okay? So if you notice that in WhatsApp, whenever you create a new account, then it send you to the setup, or you can set to the settings activity, and there you have to provide your profile picture and the username first. The username is mandatory. Mandatory means that you must provide your username at the time when you create a new account. And the second thing is the profile picture. So the profile picture is optional for the users. I mean, if a user want to set a profile picture, then this is totally up to a user, that is whatever he likes, but he must provide the username. So we will add these validations for the username and for the profile picture, okay, just like you guys see in WhatsApp. So yeah, let's do that. So come here to the this is our settings activity. So first of all, come here to the main activity, okay. We will go to the main activity, and on our main activity here we can say that is on start method, okay. Whenever our app starts, then it should check the user, that is if current user is null, that is if the user is not logged in, then we will send the user to the login activity to log in first. But what if the user is already logged in, then what we will do, we will verify the user existence. So we will call a method here. Now we will create that method also, so by the name verify user existence. And now let's create this method. So create method, and this is our method. Now inside this method, let's go to the database first. You can see that we have a user's parent node for all the users who will be using this app, and under that we will have a unique ID for each user, okay. So what we will do, we will check first for the unique user, that either the user has registered, or you can say if the user has already created an account or not. And then we will check for the settings, that either the user has provided his name, etc. or not. So for that, what we will do, first we will get the user ID. So here we can say string, and then we can call this as current user ID, put a semicolon, and let's get it by the using the mauth. So you can say mauth dot get current user dot get uid. So in this way we get the ID of the user who is online, I mean the current user. And then by using the root, okay, let's first create the reference to the database. So come here, and after that we have to create a reference that will be the database reference, and let's call this as root ref. And now inside our on create method here, we can say root ref equals to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference. And now come down here, and here we can say root ref dot child current user ID. So we are checking for this user ID, either if the user has registered or not, I mean if he is authenticated or not. So you know that at the time of registration, or you can say when a user try to create a new account, then we send his unique user ID here in our Firebase database. So then after that we will check for the user name, okay. So let's first say, first we will retrieve the data. So here we can use the value event listener, new value event listener, and make sure to put a semicolon here. And now inside this on data change, first we will check if data snapshot dot child, and the child will be basically the username, okay, the name. So if it is set, then it means if it is available, then it means that the user is not a new user, he has already created a new account, and he provide, or you can say set his username and profile picture. Then we can say dot exist, okay. And then first of all we need to control X this, put these two braces and paste that here. So it will check for the username, which is the name, by the name, okay. Now we will store the data, I mean on our settings activity. But first we have to add this validation on our main activity. Then we can display a toast message, and this toast message we can say welcome to the user. And let's say if the name is not available in the database, then it means that the user is a new user and he has not update his profile settings, or you can say he has not set his profile, or you can say profile picture or username. So as I told you, the profile picture is optional, so that's why we are not adding the validation for the profile picture. We are just adding for names, okay, just like in WhatsApp. So please make sure to use the same names which I am writing here, okay, because we will use the same these names when we were adding the user data, or you can say saving the user data on our settings activity now in this video tutorial, okay. So please make sure to write the same names for this child, okay, name, okay. And now here we can say, or instead of the toast message, we can send the user to the settings activity, okay. And settings activity, this is basically a method which will send the user from the main activity to the settings activity. And first go to the login activity, and here you can see we have this main intent.add flags, okay. So copy this line of code and now come here to the main activity back and send user to settings activity. Here we need to paste that code here, okay, and make sure to change this main intent to settings intent, because we do not want the user to, when he click on the back button, then we do not want the user to go back to the main activity. First he has to provide his username or profile picture, okay. And the same we will do here for the login, okay. Also paste that here, sorry, copy this line of code. This is the validation, I mean the complete validations. So copy this login intent and change this, and here we can say finish. Okay, now the next thing is, that is let me tell you again, it will check first for the name. That is, if the name is available, then it means the user is not a new user, he is an old user and he has set his profile. Then we just tell the user welcome. I mean, he can use app, he can send messages to his friends. But if this is not available, then it means that the user is a new user, he has just authenticated, or you can say created an account, and he needs to set his profile picture and username, okay. And also just like the profile picture, the user status will be optional. So yeah, this is it for our validation, I mean for the user existence, which will verify the user existence. So close this. Now come here to the settings activity, and on our settings activity, what we're gonna do, that is, whenever the user click on this update account settings button, then here after this initialize fields method, we can say update account settings dot set on click listener, new on click listener. And now inside this on click method, we are going to call a method which will be update settings. And now let's create this method inside our settings activity, and this is the method which we created. Cut this from here, and after that we can paste it here, okay. And now inside this update settings method, we can first get the username, and I mean the user will first write the username, the status, and we will get that from this field, and we will convert it to string, and we will store it inside this variable which we now are creating. So we can call this as set user name equals to, and it is, the field is by the name username dot get text dot to string. And now the same we will do for the status. So copy this, paste that here, and we can say set user status, and it is by the name user status. Now the profile picture, we will do the profile picture in the next video tutorial. Okay, I mean in the upcoming video tutorial we will do that. First, as you know that profile picture is optional for the user, but we will implement it. It does not mean that we will not implement the code for the profile picture. Okay, we will implement the profile picture functionality in this app, but for now we will just complete the username and status in this video tutorial. The next thing is to verify this, either it is empty or not. So you can set text studio ls dot is empty. So if the set username is empty, then we will tell the user to please write username. So you can say toast, and for the toast here we can say please write your username first, let's say, or anything you want. This is just a toast message, so whatever you like you can write here. Okay, I mean the message, the toast message, and then we will check for the set status, and we can say please write your status, else if the both are, I mean if the both are verified, if the username and status, if the user write this both of these, then we will save this data inside the Firebase database. So for that we will use a hash map. So we can say hash map string comma string, and we can call this as profile map equals to new hash map. Make sure to put a semicolon here, and then by using this profile map we can put the data inside the Firebase database. So the first, I mean for the first one will be our current user ID. So the key value for this will be UID comma, and let's first check, we have to get the user ID, the online user ID. So here we can say private, and let's create that. It will be string, and we can call this as current user ID. And as you know that for that we will be needing the Firebase auth, so we can say Firebase auth mauth, and now inside our onCreate method we can say mauth equals to Firebase auth dot get instance, and to get the user we can say current user ID equals to mauth dot get current user dot get UID. So in this way we get the user ID. Let's create a Firebase database reference also, which we will be needing to save the data inside the Firebase database. So we can call this as root ref, which means root reference, and here we can say root ref equals to Firebase database dot get instance get reference. And now come down here, and here we can say current user ID, and the next one, let's copy paste this. The next one will be username. So we can give it a key name by this name, okay, which is name, which means the username, and the value of that is stored inside this set username variable. Okay, and make sure to use the same key which we write here, okay, which I already told you earlier, which is this one. Okay, if you mix this, then your app will crash, okay, because we are hearing retrieving, basically by using this variant listener we are getting the user name, okay, and the key, or you can say the name is the same, which is name. Okay, so if you use different names for this key, then your app will crash, because in the database it will be name, and let's say if you use username here on the setting, then I mean it will mix the things up, and I mean your app will crash. So make sure to use the same name, okay, please. And after that we will have the status, which is the profile status of a user, and it is stored inside the set status variable. And the next thing will be, yes, that's it, I mean for now. And when we will be adding the last scene, or you can say the online feature, then we will add further things to it then. But for now we will just go with the UID, name and status. So now by using the root ref we are going to save this. inside the parent child, which is the users. Under that we will have a child, which is the current user ID, that is the user who is online. Then we can say dot set value profile map dot add on complete listener, new on complete listener, and make sure to put a semicolon here. And then here we can say if the task is successful. Then we can just display a toast message to the user, which will be profile updated successfully. And let's say if any error occur, then in that case we can say else. We will first get the error type, that is why that error basically occurred. So by using the task.getException, it will tell us that which type of error basically occur. So then we will display that in the toast message. So we can say error, and then we can display that message to the user. And once this data is saved in the profile is updated successfully, then we will send the user to the main activity, and then the user will be able to use this app. So for that, go to the login activity, and let's copy this main activity method from here. Copy this and go back to the settings activity, and let's paste that method here at the bottom, because we will be needing it here. Okay, so this is our settings activity, and we want to send the user to the main activity. So we can call this method here. If task.is successful, then send user to main activity. So yeah, that's it. And now let's run the app. So click this. So our app is running now, and you can see that it sends us directly to the setup, or you can say to the settings activity, from the main activity to the settings activity. Because if I show you the database, then my profile name do not exist here. Okay, it means that I am a new user, and I have to set my name and profile picture, and the profile picture is optional. Okay, the user optional means that the user can update it once the user provide his username from here, and then also from the main app where we have a settings option, the user can also update this profile picture from there. Okay, so we will implement this in the next tutorial, but first this is mandatory task, so that's why we have done this. So now I will provide my name. So let's write my name, which is Muhammad Ali, and then the status. So let's say I will write that is I am so whatever status you like. Okay, so then I will click on this update button, and you can see that the child is updated successfully. And here you can see this name Muhammad Ali, status, and then UID. But if you see, then it updates the settings in the database, but it not send us to the main activity. And the reason for that is simple. Okay, we forgot to write here, go to the main activity first of all, and here you can see we have this verify user existence method which we created earlier, and we are checking basically the current user ID. We are getting it, and root_ref.child current user ID. We have to check the parent node first, which is the users. Okay, under that users node, which is this one, under that parent node, which is user, we will have different unique IDs for different user, and under that current user ID we will have the child name and all these child. Okay, so we are checking for the child name. So first, which means data snapshot, basically means this root_ref, which is basically up to here. Okay, that is, we have a root_ref to the app, then we have a parent node child, and then we have subchild, which is current user ID, that is the user which is online. So if that user has the child by name, okay, if that user has that reference has this child name, then it means that the user is an old user. He has already created his account and set profile and everything. But if this not exists, then it will send the user to the settings activity. And now let's run the app again. So you can see that our app is running now successfully and it says welcome. Okay, so it sends us to the main activity now. So yeah, that's it for this video, and in the next video we will work further on our settings activity. We have to add more things to our settings activity. So yeah, that's it for this video, and see you guys in the next video. If anyone is new to our channel, then please like this video, and don't forget to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon, please. See you guys in the next video. Bye for now.